Welcome to Imagination Studio, a lesson in humility, the cleaver fox and the tempting grapes. Once upon a time, in a lush green forest, there lived a clever and cunning fox named Felix. Felix was known throughout the forest for his quick thinking and sly nature. He was always on the lookout for his next adventure or a tasty treat. One sunny day, as Felix roamed the forest in search of food, he caught sight of a beautiful vine filled with ripe, juicy grapes hanging high above his head. The grapes were a vibrant shade of purple, glistening in the sunlight and tempting Felix with their sweetness. Driven by hunger, Felix's mouth watered at the thought of those luscious grapes. He jumped, he stretched, he even tried climbing the tree, but the grapes were just out of his reach. No matter how hard he tried, he couldn't grasp them. Feeling frustrated and determined not to give up, Felix stepped back and thought for a moment. As he stared up at the grapes, a cunning plan began to form in his mind. He decided to use his wit and outsmart the situation. With a mischievous glint in his eye, Felix exclaimed, "Those grapes are probably sour anyway. Who needs them?" He tried to convince himself and others that he didn't desire the grapes, though deep down he longed for their delectable taste. Felix then turned away from the grapes, pretending indifference. He strutted off with his head held high, making sure to act nonchalant in front of his fellow forest dwellers. However, as soon as he was out of their sight, he couldn't help but let out a deep sigh. Days turned into weeks, and the memory of the grapes haunted Felix. He couldn't forget their juicy allure and the missed opportunity. The more he thought about it, the more his desire for the grapes grew. He realized that his ego and stubbornness had gotten the better of him. Regret filled Felix's heart, but he was too prideful to admit his mistake. Instead, he made a vow to himself that he would learn from this experience and embrace humility. He knew that it was better to acknowledge his limitations and accept that he couldn't always get what he wanted. From that day forward, Felix approached life with a more open mind and learned to appreciate the value of humility. He realized that it's okay to admit defeat or acknowledge when something is beyond his reach. The fox became wiser and kinder, sharing his knowledge and stories with other animals in the forest. And so, the tale of the fox and grapes became a fable, teaching a valuable lesson to all who heard it. It served as a reminder that pride and stubbornness can blind us from the beauty and opportunities around us. Sometimes, letting go and accepting our limitations can lead to greater wisdom and contentment.